Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It all depends on what side of the world you're tuning in from. Concerning your most favorite international trade room, where we've learned how to take pips out of the market using the football strategy. And this class and this course is being sponsored by Chartflix, where we offer forex, binary, and mentorship. Now, we don't trade with any guarantees. We only trade with high probabilities. We tell all of our students it's best that you not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Take a moment and look at our legal disclaimer. Now, if you're on your cell phone, do yourself a favor, turn your phone sideways so you'll get a clear view of the strategies in which we are going to share with you on this morning. What we're going to go over today is the very popular YouTube sensation Forex football strategy that it was created by myself using quarter points. And I got these quarter points from the adjuvant. That's why a lot of people come up under me, because they want to learn how to use the adjuvant the correct way. So we'll go over that. We'll go over our signal services, and we'll go over free trial so you can take a look at it as what it is that we do. Before I go any further, I just want to say thank you to all of our current subscribers that are subscribed to Chartflix. You guys are actually making an impact, and people are really talking about Chartflix. We're having people join every week. For the last 7-8 weeks, I've had at least one person join. So I really appreciate all of the subscribers that are inviting friends, family members, and loved ones to see what it is we're doing. Now, let's go and get into Forex. 95% of people lose money in the Forex industry because they're trying to learn a whole lot and trying to put it all together. So you have the Fibonacci's, you have all of these trend lines, you have Elliott waves. There's so many different indicators you could use. You could use the stochastics, you could use your 80X, you could use the awesome oscillator. I mean, there are countless of indicators, and I bought them all. And I tried to use them all. And I went from strategy to strategy, from mentor to mentor, trying to find that quick and easy way to get successful in Forex. So after I paid for my last indicator, which was the adjuvant 2018, that was the last indicator I ever bought. But this is the one that changed my life because it had these things on there called quarter points. Now, a lot of educators don't talk about quarter points, and I don't know why, but quarter points is the base fundamental resource that we use in trading in Chartflix. Because what we found is the Bulls and the Bears are literally playing a football game in between 100 pips. Yeah. So just like football is football season, whoever your team is, if you're part of the United States of America, I hope your team wins this week. However, we've brought football over to Forex, and we've been having massive success because we know that it's not GBP versus USD, it's not NZD versus JPY, it's not the Swiss franc versus the JPY, it's the Bulls versus the Bears. And we found that if you follow these 4 rules using the quarter points, you will have an opportunity to have a preconceived notion of what's going to proceed on the charts, because you could literally use these 4 rules. The 100 pip touchdown, okay, that's where the ball or the price goes from one 100 pip line to the next 100 pip line. Don't worry, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And then you have the 75 pip interception zone. This is where, when the price has moved from a 100 pip line to another 75 pips above or below, for whatever reason, there's a high probability that the price is going to hesitate and it's going to go the other way for about 50 pips. We also have the 50 pip fumble, where when the price goes 50 pips from a 100 line, there's a high probability that there will be a retracement or a pullback. And then last but not least, we also have the 25 pip U-turn. This is where the price will break a 100 pip line only to make a U shape going this way or going this way, and turns around and goes completely the different direction for 50 pips. Now, these are rules that I've saw on the market that happen more times than not. This is just an example of what I wanted to show you using my strategy. So you see the bulls have the ball right here. We're going to go and, just because this is Forex, we'll go ahead and name this pair. Okay, we're going to name this the GBP, and we're going to call the bears the JPY. Okay, so the GBP in this instance is going to represent the bulls. The JPY in this instance is going to represent the bears. This particular line, we're going to call this an even 130.000. And we're going to call this a 130, I'm sorry, let me redo that. We're going to call that 131. That's what we're going to do. We'll call it 131 just for this instance. Now, I just explained to you one of our rules for Forex football is that when the price moves 50 pips, there's a high probability that the price is going to pull back. This is just an example of what happens. Well, what happens is when the price moves 100, so that's at the 100 line, it goes 25, 50. This what represents 50 pips. This is what happens next. More times than not, the bears will intercept or the bulls will fumble the ball, if you will, and the bears will take that ball and pull it back. And I'll show you a quick example of that on the chart so you won't think I'm just making up these slides, okay? So if we go here, this is a prime example of the market being at a 100 line. Well, Marcus, how do you know it's at a 100 line? Well, this is how you read pips. Most people don't know how to read pips. This is the easy way. Whenever you look at a currency price, only thing you have to do is think about currency. So when you see 1.71000, don't try to call out the whole price. Just call out the first three numbers, $1.71. That's where we are, $1.71, or £1.71, or €1.71, whatever it is. And then you start to count the pips, you use the last three numbers, okay? In this case, there's 3 zeros. So that makes it a 100 pip line, okay? Now look at what happens. I told you the bulls broke $1.71, which is a 100 line. When it goes up 50 pips, something happens more time than not. Well, when it got to $1.71, but this is a 50 pip line because that's 50, and you know we don't count the last pipette. We don't count the last pipette. We don't, okay? So this goes from 100 to 50 pips up, and the bears push the ball down. Now, is there, push the price, should I say. It don't always drop like this. It normally, if the pair is trending, let me show you what normally happens. What normally happens is the pair would go this way, pull back about 25 pips or 50, and continue in an N shape. That's what happens most time. This was a massive drop, and I'm sure on the left side of the screen, there was some type of confirmation that that was going to happen, okay? Well, I'm going to show you another example of Forex football. Let's just say in this case, the bears have the ball. Okay, and so the bears only get the ball after the bulls have scored a touchdown. So bears drop the market. Okay, in this case, the bears have dropped the market 75 pips. Okay, and for whatever reason, if you go and put these quarter lines on your chart, you will see that at the 75 pip line, there's always an interception that happens. And more times than not, if it hesitates around the 75 pip line, it's going to go back about 50 pips. More times than not. I'm telling you, you can go look at it for yourself. This is not something I'm making up. I did see it this way, and I have put a name to it, but the price been doing what the price been doing since before I even knew what a Forex candle was, you know. But let's look at an example here. So the price, the bears got the ball right here. Watch this. How do you read this, Marcus? This is a 100 pip line, but you read the first number. So the value of this currency is not even worth $1. It's only worth 66 cents. But you read the last three numbers to give you your placement of where the 100 line is. So you have 0, so this is a 100 line. Over here, because we read the price from left to right, the bears break this 100 line. They hit the 50 and they pull back, just like I told you, but we're not focusing on 50 pip pullback, but I just want to show you that that's what happened, right? And so they finally break the 50 right here, and they begin to hesitate around the 75 pip line. How do you know it's 75? Because this is 66 and this is 65. So they're literally 25 pips away from a touchdown. But the Bulls, for whatever reason, hesitated and take it back the other way. Now, typically, they'll stop here for 50 pips. But in this case, they went on and pushed it this way, okay? So more times than not, remember this, if you never see me again, the Bears and the Bulls will always stop it. And it's just either or. If it goes 75 pips up, the, the, the Bears will stop it. If it goes 75 pips down, the Bulls will stop it. There's a high probability, okay? So I'll show you just a quick example of a 75 pip hesitation zone, okay, of what I just showed you. I did this from my phone, okay? So if you look at this pair was AJ, and you see it says 77, okay? And below here says 76, 75. So that's 25 pips there. And then you have 76.50. So that's a 50 pip drop that the Bears started right here. Okay. And so when they get down to 76.25, look at what happens. It stops right here at the 75 pip line. Now, ultimately, they're trying to move the price from 77 cent down here to 76 cent. But for whatever reason, the Bears, or sorry, the Bulls in this case, will stop it around the 75 pip line. Okay. And I actually sent this trade idea out to my subscribers. We stopped right at the 75. We placed a pending buy stop, and it went up 25 to 30 pips. Okay. At the end of the day. Okay. And these are just practical price action. What is this video? Okay. Yeah, so that was a stop order that we placed, and I was explaining it to them. So I'll let it play. Give me 1 second. I'm going with the trade. So that's a much better trade to go with that current trade. So that's what happened there on that. Here are a few other examples of using our football strategy. I'll just show you this one, and then we'll go straight to the live chart. This right here, I'm going to tell you what this is to the right, okay? And I'm going to show you how it played out. It broke a 50 line, and it went to the 50 line. I'm sorry, it broke a 100 line, went to the 50, and it pulled back 75 pips. But we actually predicted that, and I'll just show you a quick video of that, and then we'll go to the live charts. We start here, 25, 50, 75, 100 pips. Once we get to this 50 pip pullback, the price will start here. It's going to break here. We get to this 50 pip pullback. It's still football. It's just pending orders. And we're using data to predict it. This is our 75 dive zone, TP1, TP2, possibly even TP3. I'm going to stop it there. So if you look at my drawing to the left, none of this had played out. None of this had played out. None of it. None of this had played out. There's no rewind on MT4. You can't cut the candles. This is a live chart that I had right here. And like to the pip, we put in a trade. I drew, this is where we were right here. We were right here. This is where we were when I drew this. And if you look at how I drew the arch going up, and I said we're going to break here and go to the 50 and pull back, and you're able to see that that's exactly what happened. It broke the 100, went to the 50, and it pulled back. How did I know it was going to do this? Well, just off the beginning, at the 50 pip line, it pulls back, okay? But I was able to use some confirmation based on the chart to give me that example, okay? So with that being said, let me go to my, let me pull up my live account here. Okay, that worked. I had to sign into it just now.
Okay, we are signed in, and let me get back to sharing my screen. Hmm. Okay, so here we are on the live charts. These are the live charts. Okay, and this is a matter of fact, this is a good example of a 50 pip pullback going down. Okay, so that, let me just show you this real quick. The bears break the price. The price was $1.24. Okay, it goes down a full 50 pips and it starts to pull back. There's a buying opportunity for you could buy the middle for the breakout. You could have bought the bottom if you wanted to buy the right leg of this W. There are so many different things you could do when you know quarter points and you understand how the price likes to move when it's dealing with these particular numbers. There's a lot to be said for all of these levels. It has literally changed the way I trade. I literally am able to predict a lot of movements. This was something that I predicted for our current subscribers. We did this on like Tuesday. Okay, so we didn't get into this trade. I was looking for a W, but everything in the market this week, for whatever reason, kept going south. We had a lot of pairs that dropped and tanked. Our NU dropped and tanked. We were looking for a push up and it didn't happen. However, we didn't lose in these trades because we set pending orders. That's another thing I wanted to tell you who are joining. I've seen a lot of signal people who tell you buy now, sell now. The way Forex happens is by the time you get that notification, that could be a full 60 seconds later. Let's just say you're sitting right there in your phone and your signal provider tells you buy now, okay? And it's simple, you just hit buy. You're able to hit buy, okay? Now, if I was the signal provider, I'd get in at the best place because I see the opportunity right when I tell you to buy it. But by the time I type it in and send it out, that could be 30, 40, 50, a whole minute, a whole 60 seconds or longer, depending on, whatever connection issues. Do you know how fast a price could move in 60 seconds? My point is, pending orders are the best way to give signals because everybody receives the same price. Now, of course, brokers going to make it a little different in some cases, but everybody gets to get in around the same exact price, especially if you're using the broker that I use, that I will eventually become a broker for, as a matter of fact. But we're able to send out all of these signals, and people have been winning. I have a student who turned educator who traced our London session, and he sends out trades, and he uses the same strategy that I do. And a lot of our London, or should I say our international following, are able to take a lot of his trade ideas, Mr. Herbert, okay? Because we're using a simple strategy that is price action driven, okay? Price action driven. So we do a whole lot of exercise and a lot of learning over here in Chartflix. To be honest with you, we do, and I'll just go ahead and skip ahead just to show you a few things so you can get a glimpse into what it is we do. For an example, in our paid Telegram group, you can see this right here says Chartflix, okay? And every class that we record is placed in a central location, just like a Netflix or Hulu or any other streaming content. And we're always able to update them on what season we're on and what episode. Our season and our episodes are the live classes. So let's just say someone want to join Chartflix, okay? If you wanted to join Chartflix, I just want to show you what it looks like, all of the educational things that you would have access to. So on the front page of our seasons page, we always put the last class that we did, always. And I did a class on binary, okay, this past week. And the binary strategy that I've came up with is called peaks and valleys. It's an amazing strategy. If you don't know anything about binary, that may not excite you, but binary is on the move and a lot of people are interested in binary. But we have all of these seasons here where each season has a minimum of 8 episodes all the way up to 12 or 13. So you have all of these hours and hours of videos that teach you different strategies, teach you different ways to look at the market, teach you how to approach the market, how to enter the market. You have all of this information. And also we have a home button where we feature our live stream classes, where if you ever wanted to come and join our class, you just come here and press live stream. And these are our times in which we do the live sessions. Sunday at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday morning at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we do every Friday. That's why you're here today. I do a free look Friday where I introduce people to Chartflix so they can take a look at it and just see it, okay? And then we do first Wednesdays and the first Saturday, okay? And we also have a strategy tab where we're really loving this. Let's just say you're part, you already have a pretty good understanding of Forex and you just want to come straight to strategies. Well, we have all of these strategies. I have the famous football strategy here, my 75 dive and thrive, the teacup strategy, my binary strategies, GBP breakout, and it will teach you how to properly use the Agilent 2018 and 2020 if you just so happen to have that indicator. So there's a lot of value that's placed into this platform, as it will allow you everything you need in-house to learn how to trade. Now, one of the biggest questions that I always get is, what's the cost? Well, we are very inexpensive if you want to know. I'll just start with the price. Right now, we're $1.66 a day. $1.66 a day comes to $49.99 a month. But look at this. Look at the value that you get, because they say you get what you pay for, right? I agree, okay? Because most people are charging $100, $200, even $300 a month for this type of education. But we've got it not to this price. You get weekly Forex and binary training. You get access to our full library of trainings, okay? Day one, you don't have to wait for the next class. Day one, you get access to the last class and all the other classes we've created. You also get access to our signals. Our signal service allows us to send you trade ideas from people that have been using our strategy. Right now, it's just me and Mr. Herbert. We send out these signals, and these are high probability, non-guaranteeable opportunities for you to make money while you learn, okay? Or you can put it in a demo account, either way. And you also get a 30-minute one-on-one with myself. I will literally help you set up your chart so it will look exactly like mine if that's what you want. Or if you want to go over strategies, or if you want to go over motivation, or if you want to just talk about how to be in the zone as a trader, whatever you like, you get that one-on-one as soon as you join, okay? And also you have access to our subscriber chat room where we have a lot of conversation, a lot of interaction goes on. We do homework assignments, we do pop quizzes. That's where we drop all of our Zoom links. That's where we drop all of our signals as well. You'll have access to that 24/7, and that's the best way to reach me, either that or by email, okay? Also, we have books that will be published in Amazon that we will be selling for traders, just like you can go buy Trading in the Zone. You can go buy the Quarters Theory. You're going to be able to buy the football strategy, right? You're going to be able to buy my binary strategy from the internet, okay? But if you're a part of this organization, you'll get access to that for free and you won't have to pay for it, okay? And also in next year, we will be launching Chartflix for Kids. I have a great passion for teaching our younger generations that are behind us. Here we are, grown. A lot of us are in our 20s, our 30s, our 40s. I've had someone even here on their 70s, right? So what happens if we introduce these simple concepts to people who are little children, 10-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 18-year-olds? their life is going to change. Okay. And you'll have access to that for free. Okay. And that is under development. And again, it's only $49.99 and you can cancel it anytime. I've had people that have came to us and they stayed for 30 days. I've had people that came to us and they have not quit. They've been with us the whole time because we have a whole community as well. So it's about community, it's about being connected, and it's about being coachable. So this is what we have. You can actually get access to our free trial just by going to chartflix.net. Chartflix.net will give you access to everything that you needed to know, the free trial. And also, you want to join the free Telegram group. Our free Telegram group will allow you to get some trading signals as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place this information inside of the chat room. Let me see, make sure it got in there. Yep. So I just placed that in the chat room. So chartflix.net again is going to be where you can go to check out our free trial. And then the free Telegram group, we have a free Chartflix Telegram group. That's where I'm able to keep my pulse on you, be able to check on you, because sometimes it takes a person 3 to 7 times to be exposed to something before they make a decision. That's just human nature. Okay, some people are not like, yes, I'll go. And then you have some people like, yes, I'll sign up right now because they see the value and where they come from. It all just makes sense to be able to get attached to something like this. So get attached to us in some way, form, or fashion, because believe it or not, my passion is to turn you into an educator. Ultimately, everybody that encounters Chartflix, my personal goal is to have us in a position where we're all eating the same, where we're all looking at the same charts, where we're all making the same kind of trading ideas, because ultimately I want to build educators. I want to build people that can take these simple strategies and take them across the world. Literally, I want the football strategy to be the #1 strategy. I want the certain ways we look at the market to be the standard, so people won't have to go through a lot that we had to go through to get where we are. I can tell you there are countless and countless of things that I've had to go through to get to this level of trading. I started back in May of 2018, and it was a rough ride. Okay, it was a rough ride getting to where I am. But the moment I sat down and I got a mentor and I began to look at the charts with a clear view, and I wasn't trying to hit a home run with a $10,000 loss and trying to do 10 pips per trade, per $10 per pip, and I went down to the 10 cent per trade, or I went to demo account. I was able to look at the charts with learning ability. And so now I'm here in this position because I was coachable, connected, and I was consistent. Okay, so that's what you got to ask yourself. Are you consistent? Are you connected to the right people? And are you coachable? Because that's the missing element to your trading journey. And for that matter, it doesn't even just have to be training. It could just be anything in your life, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life. Are you connected to someone that's been there, done that, can show you a shortcut? Because that's what mentorship is about. It's really about saying, listen, I know where you're trying to go. I've been there. I can give you the shortcut. Okay. That's really what it's about. And so I admonish you, even in your whole life, to make a decision on getting some type of mentorship in whatever endeavors you have, so you can get the secret, the cheat code, if you will. There are a lot of cheat codes on this chart, okay? All right, so listen, with that being said, we're 30 minutes in. I don't want to hold a lot of time, but here's what I always do. I always open up the floor just to have anyone who wants to ask some questions. If you want to ask some questions about a trade, if you want me to look at a trade that you're in, a trade that you've lost, if you want to talk about the platform, the mentorship, this is a great time right here for you to unmute yourself if you'd like, or raise your hand and give me any questions, okay? And while you think about questions, here's what I do. I'll play this 30-second video of myself when I was a loser trader, if you will, okay? I just want to be great. I just want my children to have the life that they deserve. I want my wife to have the life that she deserves. That's why I work so hard. That's why I try so much. I lose. I fail. I mess up. But I'm trying. I'm trying hard. Man, I'm trying hard. Sometimes I just come to myself and I just cry. Cause not because I'm sad, just because how bad I want to make it for my family. Hopefully, once y'all see this video, I would have already proven myself. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay, this is a video that was taken back in July 2 years ago, 2018. I had been trading for literally 2 months, and I came in with an arrogance that I was just going to be able to come in and take over. And I didn't have proper training, proper mentorship, or anything like that. I lost a lot of money. I was at least $3,000 in the hole at this particular point in time. But I was very diligent. I was very consistent. I just didn't have the proper that's fine, Alicia. Thank you so much. I didn't have the proper mentorship. Okay, I didn't have the proper connection, and it cost me a lot of money. And I had to go the long way. I had to go the long way, but my process was my process, and I don't want people to have to go through what I went through. I don't want you to have to lose $10,000 and then okay, now I'm ready to learn. Okay, now I'm ready to listen. No, let's just listen first. Let's find somebody that can give us good advice, because Forex is being widely presented as something that you can get in it today, and by next week, you can kick your feet up, put in a trade, and your life is going to be great. No, it didn't quite work like that. We can't be that disrespectful to the skill set. Like any other skill set, there will take some time for you to learn how to trade. However, you can learn from someone who has a cheat code or a shortcut. Okay, so with that being said, were there any questions that I could answer before I let you go? And I'll put the information in the chat one more time. Were there any other questions? Okay, well, if there were not any questions, I will be back. Well, do me a favor. I dropped it in the chat. Join the free Telegram group so we can get connected in some kind of way or another. And also, I'll be back next Friday to show you the same thing again. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If you are coachable, connected, and consistent, I'm going to see you at the top, because the bottom is extremely too crowded. Y'all have an awesome weekend.